As I've said before, rebuilding a 0 overall team by only drafting is my favorite thing to do on the channel. But unfortunately, whenever we seem to do this challenge, we seem right on the verge of greatness and then get unlucky. So today, we are once again going to be rebuilding a 0 overall team by only drafting, which sounds like maybe an excessively hard challenge, which believe me, it is, but it's a lot of fun, and today I want to finally try to win a Super Bowl with this team. So get a drink, get a snack, get whatever. This could be a really long one. And super quick, be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoy, because if we can get to 2,000 likes on this video, it'll let me know y'all want to see another 0 overall rebuild. And it sounds stupid, but leaving a like really does help out the channel. It helps YouTube know that people are enjoying the video, so I would very much appreciate it. And be sure to subscribe if you like rebuilds, because that's literally all I do, and it'll make you an OG of the channel for when we inevitably hit 10 million subscribers. Definitely. And last thing, no shout out for this video, but let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have down in the comments. Maybe some, you know what, give me some 0 overall rebuild ideas, because y'all know I love doing these, and if I use your suggestion, I'll give you a shout out, or just let me know even if you don't care about the shout out, because I like to see the goofy ideas y'all have. But without further ado, like I said, I'm very excited to get into this, so let's just get straight to the end of year 1, and I'm not going to spend too much time going over the stats. I mean, I would assume y'all have seen a 0 overall team before. I'll show them, but I won't show them for too long. But I always gotta ask the question, will today be the day we somehow finally win a game with a 0 overall team? Of course not. We finish 0-17. And Khalil Shakir, 0 touchdowns, 49 picks. Great stat line. We did have a positive rusher. Austin Johnson, for some reason, got a carry. Negative 56 yards for Daquan Jones, or 55. I can read. Just a few sacks let up. 183 tackles from Lael Collins. We actually had a few TFLs, but no sacks and no picks, as always. And let's see, I always have to check what was our closest game and our least close game. So we only got beat 49-0, I say only, but only 49-0 by the Jags and Giants, and we got beat 104-0 by the Cowboys. Big surprise. But let's get into this first draft. And thankfully, it is a good QB class. But here in the draft, we pick at number 1, of course. God, where's the background? Hold on. Okay, there we go. But thankfully, like I said, or at least I think I said it, this is a pretty good QB class. Unfortunately, there isn't a top 5 talent QB, but there is at least a first rounder in Louis Banks. I'm gonna go with Louis. I guess it could be Lewis, but we'll say Louis. There's also Ricky Ramsey, first to second round talent, but most of these guys aren't worth the first round pick. But I kind of feel like playing risky, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'm gonna take Louis Banks with the number 1 pick. I want to trade this down for obvious reasons, like we need players right now. I don't think I'm gonna trade this pick down very far at all, though. We might just trade down with the Lions, and that might be it, because I'm hoping they won't take a QB. I've seen teams do more questionable things before, but we'll hope that they go with Aaron Shelton or something, or Amari Roberts. So we will trade down this 1 spot. And really weird trade, but we are going to be trading the number 1 overall pick to the Lions for obviously the 2nd pick, but 2/3 this year and a 4th next year. Again, really weird value, but they go with Julian Ruiz. Are they forgetting they have someone? I mean, I guess they could play him at guard, but they won't. I mean, they might, but you're going to pick a guard at number 1 overall? Whatever. Let's go with Louis Banks out of Memphis. I never even looked closely at him. He does have elite throw power, not the fastest, but not the slowest. He definitely isn't the best first round talent QB I've ever seen. He has a lot of C ratings. Well, 2 of them. Deep accuracy and throw on the run. What type? He's a field. I'm a little scared of his deep accuracy, but I mean, we know what his overall is going to be. I'm just a little scared of his dev trait, but let's take him. He does have hidden dev. Okay, cool. We'll see what that dev trait is. I kind of have my doubts that it's super great, but we will hope that it is. But now in round 2, if you saw the last rebuild I did, which if you haven't already, be sure to go and watch that after this. It was a ton of fun. I think my new strategy when we have a really horrible team is to build up one side of the ball to be super great before we worry about the other side at all. So this year we are only going to draft offense. So let's see who we want to take here. I might go with Nazir Crosby, elite acceleration, and surprisingly good catching ratings for a playmaker type. I don't know if he's the best receiver receiver here. It might be Braden Sapp. I'm a little scared of him for some reason, though. I don't love the C to F catching and D medium route. He would be a scheme fit, though. He's what, 23? Crosby's only 22. I guess that's not much of a difference, but we'll still go with Crosby. He looks good. Y'all know I love my playmaker receivers. Of course, normal dev. That's rough. And normally I only show around 3 picks, but for this first year, because it is so important, I'll show the first 4. Unfortunately, though, I don't think this is that good of a draft class for offensive players. So this is kind of a rough year to use my strategy. And let's go with Jake Quincy, A deep route, elite speed, great strength, looks like a really good tight end, had a great combine at least. Decent ratings. I'm mostly just picking him because of the combine and hoping that, you know, a lot of those B to D ratings are a B or at least a C. There's a chance he isn't that good and Philip Gardner's better. Is Philip Gardner better? He might be. He's not as fast, but I don't know. Something I've learned from playing this game is sometimes it is just better to go with the faster player. So that's what we're going to do here. Hidden Dev, 88 speed, 89 excel. Sounds good. And then the last pick I'm going to show, again, really not my favorite offensive draft class ever. I mean, there are a lot of okay players, but everyone here has their flaws. James Blake, isn't that a, like, country singer? We might take him. I mean, he looks pretty good. B deep route, B spec catch, B release. He is a scheme fit. Was supposed to go in the first to second round, so that's kind of concerning. There might be a reason he dropped, but he is going to be the last pick I show. Honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest. I feel like I did horribly here. I regret that first receiver pick, but we'll see. We'll see how he did. Normal dev. Come on. We'll take it. I think he's a good overall. That's unlucky, but I'm going to make the rest of these picks and we will see how we did. Okay, here's how we did in the draft. This might be one of the worst drafts I've ever had. Well, no, here's my defense. Let me defend myself here. This was a horrible draft class. There was one player at an 80 plus. That was Geo Hunt, which, you know, we should have taken him, but I just didn't look at centers. Or, well, I did, but I was more so looking for first round projected players when I was scanning every position, but he is the 180 plus overall. Did I forget to select strong draft classes? No? All right, well, I guess it could have been worse. You know, we got a QB. Louis Banks, 77 overall, looks really good, dare I say. 94 throw power, 90 short accuracy, 85 medium accuracy. So we'll take that. Definitely, probably not great to take a first round QB out of Memphis. Isn't that where Paxton Lynch was from? Yeah, so hopefully Louis Banks has a different career trajectory. But Nazir Cosby is decent, 75 overall. I should have predicted it because it seems like playmaker receivers are always a 75 normal dev, but he looks good. Just nothing too crazy. Really good acceleration and catching, though. Jake Quincy is good. That was a good pick, 75 overall. Like, we actually did well, all things considered, because, you know what? Let me check something. Okay, 75 overalls are tied for 20th. So first to second round talents, first to second round talent. I have no defense for this one. James Blake isn't that good. I took Spencer Love. He's a little better. Of course, normal dev. We were 3 for 3 on receivers with normal dev. That's always great. And, you know, shout out to Bengal. We got a running back named Ben Bone, missing a letter, but did I pick him for his name? Maybe. But he's not bad. 74 overall. I thought he would be worse. He's just slow. And I also have no defense for this one. I didn't look at his speed. He's 66 speed. He does have 84 excel, but this guy isn't great. Not the best tight end ever. And then the rest of the draft was just me drafting players, so we had players at these positions and not 0 overalls. So let's get into year 1/2 of this rebuild. I need to cut the practice squad guys the team signed, but let's see how the team's looking. But okay, here we are heading into year 1 or 2. We'll call it 2. Up to a 34 overall, which isn't great, but obviously for the positions where we weren't able to draft someone, we had to cut all our practice squad guys, which takes forever. So we're not the best overall yet, but by this offseason, we should be a decent overall once we fill out the rest of this team. But yeah, really disappointing first draft, but we still can make up for it next year. More unlucky than anything because there just weren't many good players and we didn't get dev traits, but we'll see how Banks does. He definitely doesn't have the best situation around him. We're also going to start Foster at center. I don't know. He's a 53 overall there. He's a good blocker, so we'll see how that goes. How big is he? Only 255? Okay, I don't know about that, but we'll do it. This isn't a realistic rebuild. But let's get to the mid-season point of year 2, and we will see how we are doing. But okay, we are, of course, 0-7 at the mid-season. I mean, the bright side is we are going to have the #1 pick again, and... Or no, I forgot. We don't have an extra second, or an extra first-round pick this year. I wish we did, but we don't. But we are probably going to trade it back again just for a million draft picks. And we actually don't have the worst pass D in the league, mostly because offenses are only running on our defense. They don't need to pass. We're not exactly putting Louis Banks in the best situation, but his stats are horrible. 2 touchdowns, 9 picks. Ben Bone is awful so far. We aren't letting up that many sacks, though. I mean, Andy Isabella is, but that's fair. But hey, this is normal. These always start off super slow, so let's get to the end of this year and let's get into another draft. But of course we are once again 0-17, but let's check out our season stats. We will see if anyone did well enough to maybe win an award. Louis Banks had a better second half of the year, still horrible touchdown interception ratio. We'll check dev traits in a second. If he doesn't have a good one, we might be cooked. We'll see. Ben Bone, 3 yards per carry, great year from him. Ooh, Nazir Crosby, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. Can't wait for him to get #2 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. But no, he was really good. Honestly, all our receivers did pretty well. The blocking was bad, but honestly, I expected worse. Rasul Douglas only allowed 1 sack, by the way. Love how realistic this game is. But once again, lots of tackles, 14 TFLs for Rob West, and then also 3.5 sacks. Marquez Valdez-Scantling also had a sack, and Deion Dawkins got half a sack. I don't even know if I've ever seen a sack from a 0 overall player. That's interesting. And also 2 picks for Justin Arrington. Low-key, they didn't do great, but our rookies did all right, which is surprising. But MVP goes to Mahomes, big surprise there. And no Bills for either offensive or defensive player of the year, but this is the big question. Will we have anyone for offensive rookie of the year? Well, will we win it is the important one. We do. Nazir Crosby does win it. That's huge. Obviously didn't have a dev trait, and now he will, so that's cool. James Blake at 3, Spencer Love at 5, Jake Quincy at 6, Ben Bone at 7. And okay, I was hoping we could maybe win defensive rookie of the year with the amount of TFLs West had, but he was 4th, Arrington 5th, whatever. Can't win them all. But you know what? I'll check the dev traits here before we get any, dev ups. I highly doubt we have any superstars, but we might as well check, because I think we only got, 2 hidden devs? But let's see. The tight end could have one. No, neither of them do. Okay, well, unlucky. But in the draft, we obviously pick at #1 again, and I think this is a better class, maybe? It's hard to say. The mid-first round receivers actually look like mid-first round receivers, so I'm gonna hope this one's better. Once again, lots of QBs here. What was my focus position? Oh yeah, it was receiver, which is questionable because, we drafted 3 of them last year, but we need like a superstar receiver or we're not gonna be able to get one, because obviously we can't sign players here. Oh yeah, and let's see, did we get any dev ups? Okay, Crosby got one, but I think that's it. Yeah. Who's this? Oh, I think this is a practice squad guy. But again, I think we're gonna trade down. There's nobody here that is for sure a top 5 talent. Ooh, Eric Weber. Ooh, okay, maybe not. Looks like a really good run defender, but only B to D power moves and finesse moves as a projected top 5 pick. I'm good. Let's trade this pick down. I might actually trade down pretty far this year. There was 1 good corner, actually 2, but we might pick James Shepard 10. I mean, he's only supposed to go 1st to 2nd, so we could get him even later, but he looks like a really good corner. This year, I think we're gonna end up with like a million draft picks. I think that's a good strategy, I hope. All right, we are trading the 1st overall pick to the Browns for pick 10, and then all those picks, you see them. I'm not gonna list them out. It's a lot of picks, and they're probably gonna pick a defensive end or left tackle. I guess they could go with the corner, but it is usually D end or tackle at #1 overall. Defensive end, of course. But here, I think we will go with James Shepard. We could trade down again. I might, to be honest, just to get even more value. I am scared of him getting picked, though, if we trade down too much. But let's do it. Let's trade down to like 15 from 10. But okay, we're gonna pick up an extra 3rd this year, a 4th next year, and a 7th in 2 years. I don't know if that's the best value for us, but that's fine enough. It's basically free because we would be picking the same player anyways. So let's go with James Shepard out of Minnesota. If he has normal dev, I'm gonna be beyond depressed, but let's take him. Does have hidden, thankfully. 93 speed, 94 change direction. Sounds good. And now round 2, we might go with a receiver here. Ooh, Solomon Dodson is still here. He looked good. Oh, he looks really good. This is kind of a no-brainer. I'm not even gonna list out all those A ratings. How did this guy fall? Insane combine. I guess just injuries? Is this our... I mean, this is almost a DK Metcalf type situation. I guess he also fell due to like route running concerns, and this guy definitely doesn't have those. So let's take him. Hidden dev, 93 speed, 98 jumping, 77 strength. This might be the most athletic receiver I've ever taken. Why did he not get taken sooner? I mean, I guess this is the first pick in the second round, but still. And let's see if there's a really good lineman here. I think there was a really good center, but not anymore. We might regret that. Well, not regret. I think we got a really good receiver, but I think there was a really good center. Ooh, we might go with Brian Anderson. He looks good. Really good, actually. Elite strength. What type is he? He's power? Well, I think he also has pretty good finesse, unless it's like a C and a D, which I guess it could be. But even then, he's such a good power blocker that I think it's worth it. Let's take him. Hidden dev. I don't think he's crazy good, but could be. Okay, this is a much better draft class, thankfully. And then the last pick I'm gonna take here. God, what do we want to do? I know there was a really good receiver still, Antoine McDaniels, but we really don't need any more receivers. Is there anything we could do with him, though? Should I get goofy and move him to, like, running back? That's a little weird. I know it isn't a realistic rebuild, but I don't know if I want to do that. Ooh, Brian Felix. A catching, B medium route, B short route, A to B awareness. He looks really good, but again, we don't really need more receivers. Let's go with a D lineman. How about that? We might go with Kevin Gonzalez, 42 bench reps. Pretty good speed for being 300 pounds. God, I don't know who to pick. All 4 of these defensive tackles right here. Steve Dwyer looks pretty good. Nelson Townsend looks pretty good. But John Doolittle might be the one I go with. He might not have good pursuit, though, which is kind of important. But I don't know for sure if any of these guys do. They all have B to D. So I think Doolittle's going to be my pick. The lowest ranked of the 4, but the fastest and almost the strongest. Also, A play rec and then B everything else that's scouted. Only 21, so we'll take him. Hidden dev, 95 strength, 76 speed. I doubt he was the best out of the 4, but he looked the best. So I think we did much better this year, I hope. But okay, here's how we did. We did very well. James Shepard is an 81 overall, 93 speed, 82 man, 82 zone, 78 press. Very good corner. Probably the best corner in the class. I mean, there was that one guy at the top, but I think Shepard's better. Yeah, Cyprian's only an 80. Oh, this safety. Maybe I should have looked at safety earlier. I mean, he only has normal dev, but still an 81 overall in the 3rd round. But Dodson was a 79 overall, very good receiver. The only player I'm disappointed about is Brian Anderson. I thought he would be like a 77 or 8, but he's only a 74. I mean, he's still decent, but I thought he would be a little better. What is the issue with him? Does he just have bad finesse? Of course. So I guess it was a C and a D or whatever it could be. Like the worst it could be. Oh well. John Doolittle, 75 overall. He's good. And then I think this is where I stopped showing players. We took Carlos Langford. I took the wrong Carlos at safety. I mean, I think, or wait, was the other one available still? I think he might have went right before. He went 2 picks before, of course. But we also got a really good linebacker in Bart Grant. No dev trait, but still good. Brendan Howard did have hidden dev. Good guard. Really fast defensive tackle. Corin McKay. No dev trait, despite being very athletic. 81 speed, 85 strength, 86. This dude has better acceleration than strength. That's crazy. But 81 finesse moves, 80 tackle. I really don't get why he isn't better. I guess just the awareness. But I don't know. He looks pretty amazing. And then we did end up taking Antoine McDaniels at receiver, 75 overall. And then I made these 2 picks. They weren't very good, but whatever. It was the 6th and 7th round. So very good draft this year. Much better than last year. Not perfect, but pretty good. I mean, yeah, we got the best corner, the best receiver, and maybe even the best linebacker. There's Alfonso Justice, but he's a speed rusher. But I mean, even if he wasn't, Bart Grant is the same overall, so we got tied for the best linebacker too. Pretty good draft class. But okay, here we are heading into year 3, I guess. Starting to look like an NFL team now. We actually have a 75 overall offense, still only a 50 defense, but I mean, once we fill this roster out, we should start to become really good. Like, once we become decent, we should become good. You know what I mean? Because having 12 overall starting is still really holding us back. But I like our receiving core. I like our O-line for the most part. I moved Foster to tackle full-time. We'll see how that goes. Definitely a little light at 255, but not the worst blocker ever, I guess. Definitely a realistic rebuild, by the way. But we'll have to see how Banks does this year. I mean, he's playing with -6 morale, so not great, but hopefully he does well. We'll see. It's gonna be hard for him, obviously, but there's a chance he does all right. But let's get to the mid-season point of year number 3, and hopefully we can finally do better than 0 wins. That's all I'm asking. Also, why don't we have a rating for any position? Like, they're all blank. Even receiver. We have receivers. I don't understand. But unsurprisingly, we are still 0-7. We're getting a little better on offense, and we don't have the worst pass D in the league anymore. But this year, by the end of this year's draft, we should have every position filled, I hope. Because offense, we're fine. We have everything filled. We definitely need more talent, but we at least don't have any 12 overalls starting. On defense, we'll draft a defensive end, a couple linebackers, a safety, a corner, and then we'll be good. But we'll see if we can win a game this year. I mean, it's not out of the question, but not much to see here. So let's just get to the end of the year and we will see how we finish. Okay, we actually did win a couple games. We'll take it. Our first wins of the rebuild. So let's see what went right, what went wrong. Louis Banks was really good. 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 picks. Not like the craziest year I've ever seen, but considering the team around him, again, this is a very good year. Ben Bone wasn't the worst. We'll probably try to draft a running back to replace him if we can. Just because, like, he's already 24, only normal dev. He's really not going to develop much more. Maybe like an 82 is his max, but we'll see. But Solomon Dodson as a rookie, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 yards away from 1,000 for Spencer Love. Nazir Crosby did all right. The blocking was decent considering, you know, it's not a very good O-line. That's probably our weakest position on offense. And then Carlos Langford at safety led the team in tackles. Okay. I don't know the last time I've had a safety lead the team in tackles, but 12 TFLs for Corin McKay as a rookie, and sacks 6.5 for McKay led the team. Maybe defensive rookie of the year. This is probably good for second place, and I'm going to be really upset, but we'll see. He also had a lot of tackles, 82 for a D tackle. That's pretty good. But 4.5 sacks for Bart Grant. Really interesting year from him. He also could be up there for defensive rookie of the year. I mean, McKay was better at everything, so probably not, but maybe. And then 3 picks for Arrington, 1 for Langford, and 1 for Shepard. But yearly awards, MVP goes to Drake May. Oh, well, he gets to play our garbage defense twice a year, so yeah, Tua's also up here. And Aaron Rodgers still around. But Drake May also wins Offensive Player of the Year. Keenan Allen on the Patriots up there. No Bill's up here for Defensive Rookie or Defensive Player of the Year, but Offensive Rookie of the Year. Will it be Dodson? It is. Solomon Dodson does win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Matthew Monk at 5. I didn't even see what his stats were. Antoine McDaniels at 9. I also didn't see what his stats were. And Defensive Rookie of the Year does go to Corin McKay, so we sweep the Rookie of the Year awards, at least for the AFC. Langford at 2. Grant all the way down at 7. That's kind of surprising. Langford was that much higher? Is he the one who had 3 picks? Or no, he led the team in tackles. That's what he did. God, tackles are so overrated, especially in Madden. Like, God, whatever. Let's get into the final, like, not final draft, but the final draft before we are a decent team. We'll call it that. But we, of course, have the #1 pick once again, and what do we want to do this year? The projected #1 pick is Dom Edison. He looks good. To be the #1 pick, I would hope he would have better than C block shedding, though, and A finesse moves. Like, defensive ends need to look absolutely insane to be even good. He does look really good, but I don't know if he's worth the #1 pick. There's also Alani Ferguson. He looks good, but he's not very fast or strong. God, that was my plan, but neither of them look great. That kind of sucks. That kind of ruins my whole plan. What are we gonna do then? Are we gonna trade back again? I mean, there's a chance that Dom Edison's good, but I don't think I'm gonna be the one to find out. I think he's good, like maybe a 76, 77, but I don't think he's great. I mean, maybe he is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't want to do that. So I think we're gonna trade down again. I mean, we already have pick 10 this year too, but let's pick 9, pick 11. I think we'll go for number 9. Jared Goff has X Factor now. That's something, but we'll still both of their second round picks for the next 2 years and their first next year for pick 9. And now I still want to go with a pass rusher, but let's see which one. There's Keontae Donaldson. He looks all right. Bad tackling though. Great speed, good strength. We might take him. There's Jason Quincy. Ooh, elite speed, elite acceleration. C to F player. I don't love that. Brian Crawford looks good. He just isn't that fast. Okay, I think it's between Donaldson and Quincy. Quincy's a little faster and a little stronger. Which one's better? What's our scheme? him? I think it'll come down to that, because one's power, one's speed. I think we have both, right? Yeah, so we'll go with Quincy, I think. I don't know, though. I don't like taking outside linebackers with bad play rec. They're never good. Even though he has the speed, we'll still go with Keontae Donaldson. I am scared of the strength, but I like the A play rec, A power moves, or I meant the tackle, not the strength. His strength is fine. But let's take him. Normal dev. Well, we were desperate for pass rushers, so I mean, we'll take it anyways, but I don't think he's great. Oh, my mind played tricks on me. I saw the name Eli, and I saw Markel Trapp with APP. I thought there was a corner named Eli Apple right here. I would have not taken him. We might go with George Linder, though. I mean, you can never have too many good corners. That isn't like our biggest need anymore, but it is still definitely a need, as is the case with most positions on our team still. There is also CJ Sanborn. What's his speed? Ooh, elite speed, elite acceleration. We might go with him instead. Probably normal dev, but we'll still take him. Only 21 years old, out of Florida State. He does have hidden. Okay, 95 speed, 94 excel, 94 change of direction. Good pick. I think we made up for our first one. I hope. But now in round 2, I saw Matt Hart go. Matt Hart is the defensive end I kind of wanted. I mean, we already took one, but he did look good. Oh, there was a first round talent safety. He's gone. Reggie Moody looks pretty good. Great speed, good ratings. Ooh, there's also Austin Wilson at defensive end. Good speed, great strength, A power moves, B awareness, B play rec. Definitely normal dev, but we might take him. He's a power rusher, though. We need a speed rusher more. So let's see. We'll just go with Reggie Moody because he looks pretty good. He is 23, though. God, there's a flaw with everybody here. We'll still take him, though. Looks good. Probably normal. Yeah, normal dev, but good speed. Sure. Probably not great, but probably decent. This feels a little more like the first draft class than the last one we had. I just don't think this is a great draft class for defensive players. So probably not good to be going with only defensive players. But we'll take Austin Wilson. Mine as well. He looks good. Out of Washington State, too. That's a plus. We'll take him. He does have hidden. Okay. Good pick. Would have been better if we didn't already take a power rusher. So now we have 3 power rushers and no speed rushers. But I'm sure someone's decent enough as a speed rusher. We'll see. And then the last pick I'm going to show, there are lots of QBs left. Almost all of them, it seems like. I mean, I'm not going to take one, but I will be looking. I'm looking respectfully. None of them look that good. They're fine. Let's go with a running back. How about that? I do not like taking running back. I am horrible at picking running backs. So that sounds like a good use for a second round pick. Ooh, I kind of like Josh Northcutt, a receiving back with actual like a decent running ability. I'm intrigued. There's also Marquise Basket, which is hell of a last name. You know what? Let's go with Marquise Basket, I think. Great speed, great acceleration, great change of direction, good ratings. Nothing crazy though. That's the only problem. That's why I think Northcutt might be better, because he has like similar ratings, but actual really good receiving ability. I don't know. We might go with both. Let's go with Basket first though. Hidden dev, 94 speed. Cool. And you know what? I will show this one more pick. Let's go with, if he's still here, Josh Northcutt. Also hidden dev, also 94 speed. I think between those two, we got a good running back. I would hope. I've been saying I hope a lot in this rebuild. I'm scared of being a 2-win team again. But okay, here's how we did in this year's draft. It was all right. Keontae Donaldson definitely wasn't a good first pick. 75 overall at the end. He was only a 74 at outside linebacker. Just horrible tackling. Really, everything else is fine though. Like 83 power moves. Another player that I'm surprised isn't better. I don't know. 84 speed, 88 acceleration, 83 power moves. Sounds pretty good to me for a rookie, but he's whatever. But CJ Sanborn, 80 overall. Hidden dev. Of course, very fast. 82 man. Looks really good. Reggie Moody is good. Of course, no dev trait, but 76. And Austin Wilson was the better of the pass rushers we took, but we took him exactly around later. Actually has a dev trait and is better, just straight up. And then both of the running backs we took are fine. Basket's a 76, Northcutt's a 74. We took a first to second round safety, Quincy Thomas, and then the rest of the draft was whatever. We actually got a decent linebacker. Marcus Mobley, 70 overall, but our last pick definitely wasn't great. Percy Gore, I took him because he had a tackle. Yeah, 83 tackle, but he is awful at everything else. He also had B zone coverage, which is a 60. That's fun. I was gonna say, let's see what he would be at safety because he's a pass coverage linebacker, but 60 zone coverage probably isn't gonna be great. He's a 63. Yeah, we'll just keep him at linebacker. But overall, decent draft. Let's see, Ferguson probably would have been a better pick. Edison would have been too, but I'm glad we traded down. What was the other outside linebacker though? Okay, he would have been better. Always go with the speed if they're comparable players. I don't know why that's always the move, but it is. because Jason Quincy actually has a dev trait and is just straight up a better overall. Maybe would even be a 77 at defensive end. So I went against my own new rule of just going with the fastest player available. This is the best linebacker I've ever seen. Connor Reiner. Oh my God. I mean, he looks 45. He has like gray hair or grayish hair, but 91 speed, 90 tackle, 93 excel, 85 awareness as a rookie, 76 zone. Good Lord. I didn't even know linebackers could be that good in this game. That's crazy. But I mean, hey, we got the best corner in the class, second best player overall, so we'll take it. I mean, this was a terrible draft class. Other than that linebacker, there was only one other 80 overall, and then everyone else was bad, so unlucky. But okay, here we are heading into year 4. We hopefully finally will be decent. I don't think we'll be great because we are still a 77 overall, but at least we are a 77 overall, which is a lot more than we can say for every other year here. Still kind of concerns with our O-line, mostly on offense and running back, but everything else I think is good. We'll see how Banks does with now an actual pretty decent offense around him. I guess our defense did pass our offense up though. That's crazy. I didn't feel like I drafted that well, but I guess we fixed it. It's a 79 overall now. Good corner group, good safeties. I actually moved Moody from safety to linebacker just because he was like the one. We needed another linebacker and we had 3 safeties, so I was like, we'll just do that. And he was the one who went down in overall the least, so we moved him there. And then good D-line should develop a lot throughout the year. So I have hopes this year. Not that we'll be great, but that we can be okay, which that might be too much to ask. You never know. But let's just get straight to the midseason point. My prediction is, I'll say a hopeful 2-5. We'll see. Okay, pretty good call. We are 2-5. Now, I don't know what happened between the first game and the last game we played, because those are the 2 games we won. We went on a 5-game losing streak in between those, but they were all close games except the Patriots. Really, the Patriots smoked us, and I guess the Raiders beat us pretty bad. Okay, a few of them weren't super close, but most of them were. We aren't doing great, but just as well as I expected, so we'll take it. Let's see if there's anyone we can bench, specifically on the O-line. Actually, do we have any backup O-linemen? I don't think we do. Okay, maybe we can't, but Louis Banks is doing super well. Marquise Baskett's doing all right. We have some crazy names. Solomon Dodson is doing insanely well. 600 yards through 7 games. He might hit like 1,500 or close if he keeps that up. But our blocking isn't that bad, and yeah, we don't really have any other linemen, so we don't really have a choice. But I think this year our priority is going to be, you know, fixing the O-line, making it a good overall, and then what else do we really need to draft? I mean, maybe like another really good receiver if we can find one, and another corner or safety or something. I don't know. We're kind of good. God, we've been getting really unlucky with the dev traits, though. Wilson only starred, Sanborn only star, unlucky. And then I'm going to assume that Baskett and Northcutt only have stars. So we've only drafted, wait, I don't think we've drafted a superstar. Yeah, because Dodson gained superstar. Or no, we have the defensive tackle. Or no, he gained it. He only had normal. Wow, we haven't drafted a superstar yet. Holy shit, that's bad. That's really bad. I mean, that's just unlucky though. Like we've drafted good players, just none of them have dev traits. God. All right, well, hopefully this year we can change that. Again, saying hopefully, staying hopeful. And do we have re-signings finally? We do. Okay. Only one though? Weathersby? Really? I mean, we have the 5th year for Banks, but we'll re-sign Weathersby. Where are all the other players we drafted this year? He doesn't re-sign. We don't really need him back too bad though. And then it's just 12 overalls. So did I accidentally like cut Weathersby at one point? Was he not a player I drafted? Maybe he wasn't. Maybe, or no, he had to be because his contract would have expired a few years ago. Am I just being stupid? Probably. But let's get to the end of the year. I don't know how many more games we're gonna win. I'm gonna guess we'll finish like, you know what? We do have some players that are doing pretty well right now. I'm gonna guess 4, I'll say 5-12. That'll be my prediction. But here we are at the end of year number 4, and super quick before I reveal how we did, you know, if you've been enjoying so far, I guess we haven't had that much success yet, but if you've enjoyed the video so far, be sure to leave a like. I would very much appreciate it. Again, 2,000 likes, and I'll do another 0 overall rebuild. What was the goal? It was like 2,000. Just be sure to like the video. I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel. You're a real one if you do. And subscribe for more, because if you've enjoyed the video so far, this is what like all my videos are like. And last thing, question of the day. Let me know this down in the comments. But I have an interesting one that I haven't asked yet, surprisingly. But who do you think is gonna win defensive Defensive Player of the Year this year. In real life, of course, I'm not talking about this, but yeah, who do you think is going to win Defensive Player of the Year? My guess is probably something boring like TJ Watt, probably just another D lineman again. But let me know who you think is going to win it down in the comments. I always like to, see different answers for my question of the day. Some people have very interesting ones that I don't think will necessarily happen, but they could, you never know. But anyways, in year number 4, we finished 3-14. We were awful again. I guess slightly better than last year, but I'm surprised we didn't do better. Louis Banks was good. Not many touchdown passes, but good yards, not many picks at all. Basket was fine. Northcutt had better yards per carry, though. That's interesting. We had 2 1,000-yard receivers. Solomon Dodson, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. Spencer Love, 1,000 yards. He's had like 3 1,000-yard receivers or 1,000-yard seasons and still hasn't gained a dev trait. I guess he's only had 1, but he was only 4 yards away last year. So I guess 3 1,000-yard receivers was a little bit, or seasons. Why do I keep saying receivers? 3 1,000-yard seasons was a little bit of an exaggeration, but still, I think he deserves a star dev. Crosby, close-ish to 1,000 yards. Quincy was good. Blocking, our tackles were pretty horrible. Oh, Joey Newkirk, 8 sacks from right guard. That's not great, but Reggie Moody, 139 tackles, led the team. 19 TFLs for Doolittle, 17 for Donaldson, 13 for Wilson, and sacks. 7.5 for Donaldson as a rookie. We might get top 2 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. We'll see. But Wilson also 5.5 sacks, 4.5 for Doolittle, and then picks, 2 for Langford, and then 1 for Shepard and Thomas. We're really not getting any picks at all. I mean, that's kind of always the case in simulation, but still. But MVP goes to Mahomes, big shocker. Why does Kenny Pickett always end up on the Raiders and always end up doing super well? I mean, I think he's one of the most overhated players in the league, but still. But no Bills up here for Offensive Player of the Year. None for Defensive Player of the Year either, but Offensive Rookie of the Year? Would we have anyone? Maybe our running back, but of course he gets number 2. I guess that's fine. He already had Superstar Dev, but we get beat by a division rival in Sean Banyard. That sucks. Northcutt at 10, and this is the big one. I shouldn't hype it up so much, because if I hype it up too much, we're not going to win it, but Defensive Rookie of the Year, of course. Luke Barton wins it for the Browns. A guy I was thinking about taking. I mean, I figured he would be good, but Donaldson at 2, Moody at 3. Ow, that hurt. I just smacked my controller against my knee. Austin Wilson at 4. Awesome. We are getting horribly unlucky so far. We cannot get a dev trait to save our lives. Let's get into the offseason. We might be going to a year 6 here. I mean, this will be year 5, obviously, but I want to at least, make it pretty deep in the playoffs. It's going to be hard to win a Super Bowl. I mean, we can always get lucky, of course, but it's going to be hard. It's possible, though. I'm feeling defeated, not going to lie. I mean, these always start out slow. I just thought we would do better this year. But we'll pick up the 5th year for Louis Banks, obviously, and then Jacoby Weathersby, I don't really care, honestly. We'll re-sign AJ Cole, I guess. Also, I never have 0 overall kickers and punters, mostly because I don't care enough to make them, but maybe that's cheating. I don't know. I don't care. It's kicker and punter. But here in yet another draft, hopefully this is the year where we can become good. I hope. I need an I hope counter down in the comments. I feel like I've said it at least 10 times, probably. Don't actually count that. That'll be an insane waste of time, but I focus scouted interior O-line. Unfortunately, it was the weak position for this draft class, because of course it would be. This game hates me. What do we want to do? We need to do something good here. We might trade back again. Honestly, I think that's what we should do. I don't think we've spent a 1st overall pick, which I think is a good strategy. I mean, we need to get as many good players as possible, and it's very rare that the number 1 overall pick is the best player in the class. So, ooh, Dave Derby. If he wasn't horribly slow, I would take him. Honestly, he isn't that slow, though. I mean, he has solid speed and great acceleration. See, this is why I hate how the combine ratings work. It's so stupid. A 4.56 shouldn't average out at, good between speed and acceleration. That's just dumb. That's so stupid. But he does look like a really good receiver. Do we really need another good receiver, though? I don't think so. So I think we'll trade this down again. Where to, though? I don't know. Let me make a plan for who I want to pick so I know how far we should trade down. I mean, what's even our biggest need, though? Is it just O-line? It might be. Because, what should we even take here? We're not going to take a linebacker in the top 5, obviously. I mean, yeah, we mostly just need O-line. But y'all know me, I don't like taking tackles. They're almost never good unless you get really lucky. Deshaun Barner actually looks decent, but he's 2nd to 3rd round, and I don't even trust it. Because good tackles are like good defensive ends. They need to be absolutely insane looking to be even good, or else they'll always be like a 73 93 overall. So we'll just trade this pick back. We'll go down all the way to like 10, I think. That's my usual trade down spot from number 1. Feels like a good range. But okay, here's the trade. Lots of picks. We'll take it. The Titans are almost definitely going to go with a defensive end or a tackle. Now that I said that, they won't, but no, they go with a QB. That's a first. So that trade down actually might be worth it for them. Should we just go with a receiver here? I mean, we could. Rudy Dixon looks pretty good. Great speed, elite acceleration, A medium route, A catching. I don't see why not, really. I mean, unless he's bad, which maybe, but he looks good. So we'll take him. Hidden Dev, 93 speed, 94 excel. Cool. And then just like 3 picks later, let's see, is there a crazy good corner? We still need a third corner, kinda. We also still kind of need a speed rusher, but we have so many pass rushers. Probably fine. I don't like taking pass rushers. I feel like I'm just not good at it. They're usually not good when I take them. There's usually a like trick to taking good players at each position, and I don't really understand the defensive end trick or outside linebacker trick, but I think I understand corners pretty well. We don't really need to go with a corner here because there's John Pritchett, round 2. He looks really good. There's a safety, Matt Nix. Looks good. Don't love the pursuit, but man, he's all right. Man, this is getting tough. We have like a good team, but we don't have an amazing team. And it's hard to get from that, you know, good to amazing. I guess we don't necessarily have a good team yet, but like the positions we could draft here, we are already pretty well filled out at. Pause. You know what? I'll just go with one of the guards here. There is Mitchell Adkins. He looks good. First round talent, elite strength. Sure. 97 strength. Now he has all that strength just to have D power. I love this game. But Hidden Dev, he looks good. Technically a bit of a reach on where he was supposed to go, but that's fine. I'm fine reaching a tiny bit for a lineman. There's Lucas Fry, first round talent, day 3. Honestly, we might be fine waiting to draft another lineman. I don't know, maybe that's risky for no reason. Probably. Yeah, let's actually go with Matt Nix. We'll take a chance. We have so many safeties, but we don't really have great safeties. Matt Nix, I guess, could be that if his man coverage is good enough. I don't know. Other than the man coverage, he doesn't look that great. What else are we gonna do? Let's take him. Of course, normal dev. I mean, that was obvious, but we'll see what his overall is. He might be decent. Maybe. I should have taken that corner, actually. I kind of forgot. Is he still here? Yeah, it was John Pritchett, right? Okay, that worked out. Great speed, great acceleration, elite agility, elite change of direction, A man, B zone. Sure. Of course, normal dev. We are getting so unlucky with the dev traits. God. Probably the last pick I'm going to show here. Who should we go with? Let's go with Blake Adams first, and then we'll go with Fry. I know Fry's better, but like Adams is projected to go first, so we'll take him. Surprisingly, Hidden Dev, usually pass protectors have normal, but good player, so we will see how we did this year. I'm going to take like a lot more linemen. A lot. That's not English. Is that this rebuild's ruining my brain. We'll see how we did. Okay, and here's how we did in the draft this year. Pretty good. We got another 80 overall player. Rudy Dixon was definitely a good pick. Probably a top 5 player in the class. Maybe not, because I feel like this was a really good draft class. I mean, Mitchell Adkins, 79 overall. Great pick there. I kind of wish there was like a top 10 talent rating, you know what I mean? Because whatever first to second is considered, if that starts at like 20, it's a pretty big range from like 6 to 20. So I wish there was like a top 10 talent, because Adkins could have been anything between a 79, I guess, to probably like a 75. But yeah, he is a 79. He's really good. Nix is not that good. I thought he would. I mean, when I was looking at him, I had hope that he could be like an 80, but it's just one of these generic 75 overall normal dev safeties. Fun. But John Pritchett, 78, no dev trait, but good. 74 overall. Yeah, 4 Adams. Lucas Fry, 76. Glenn Osborne, 74. These picks weren't great, but D. Clifton, 71, and then I just simulated it out after that. It wasn't great down here, but for the most part, good draft. Oh no, this wasn't why have these draft classes been so horrible? Dave Derby was the better of the 2 receivers, so I guess we could have stuck and taken him, but no, we got someone who was 1 overall worse, a year younger, maybe a worse dev trait, but no, that was definitely way worth the trade down. The number 1 pick wasn't that good. Seth Haynes, only a 74 overall, so no, that was definitely the right move. I mean, been doing well, these draft classes have been so bad, but I guess that maybe, no, that definitely doesn't work to our advantage. We need good draft classes because that's the only way way we can get good players. Unlucky, but we need an unlucky counter too. But let's get into year 5 and we will see how we are looking. Maybe we can finally be decent this year, if at all. I thought this one would go better, but Madden hates me, confirmed. But okay, here we are heading into year 5. We are good. We're an 81 overall. We look decent. 83 overall offense, only an 80 on defense. Just again, the dev traits, man. We've drafted, I think, 1 superstar still in basket. At least it's 1 now and not still 0, but God, there are just certain rebuilds I do where we just cannot get lucky once. Sounds weird out of context, but this is one of those. Now, hopefully our luck turns around soon. I'm gonna hope we do all right this year. I don't think we'll be great, but this could even be a 7-year rebuild. We're getting there. But you know, good draft. We fixed the O-line. Our receiving core is great now. I mean, not the craziest overalls, but they should be soon. Again, I'm going to use this word again, but I hope we do well. That's really all I can do at this point. Oh yeah, and for DevUps, Donaldson got star dev. I think that was like the only one. Or no, Doolittle. Did Doolittle just get superstar? I think he did. Or maybe he didn't. Or yeah, he did. It doesn't say why, but he got it. And then I think that was it, maybe. So we'll see how we do this year. I'm gonna predict a hopeful, again, the word hope, 2-5 by the midseason. Maybe 3-4. We'll see. I don't know why I keep doing the team introductions in week 1 of the preseason. I normally do them in week 4. This has been a weird one. I don't know why. The vibes are different in this one. We got bad vibes here, man. We can't shake them. It also probably doesn't help that I like picked up a cup of coffee and like I thought it was empty, so I picked it up kind of aggressively, or just like, I don't know, I was planning on moving it because I thought it was empty and it wasn't. And the way I picked it up, I threw it all over myself and all over the floor. So that was pretty cool. Glad I did that. Okay, we have 3 wins, thankfully. We're finally doing all right. We're looking like an NFL team. We're doing better than the Saints by a lot, who are a better overall than us, so this is a Madden simulation moment, but we'll take it. We'll take being on the good side of this. I mean, we're still not great, but we'll take it. Now, unfortunately, we do have some re-signings, finally. Jake Quincy, nobody's interested, but we'll go 6 years, 74 mil. Doesn't take it. Nazir Crosby, 5 years, 64.5 mil. He takes it. Okay, that's surprising. That's cool, though. Justin Arrington got a dev trait. I never noticed that. He's so cheap that we'll just re-sign him. Doesn't really play, but maybe a little bit. Spencer Love, we'll see. Cap space could become an issue eventually, but the thing is, we can't re-sign any of these guys after they hit free agency. Actually, should we be able to? I mean, it's not like we're signing players that we didn't draft, like we're signing guys that we did draft. So I guess if they hit free agency, we can re-sign them because like we drafted them. That seems fine. But honestly, I don't really want many of these guys back. Philip Morse has actually been pretty good when he's played, so we'll re-sign him. Not the best overall, but overall doesn't mean anything in this game, so whatever. And yeah, I guess we'll re-sign Spencer Love. He's cheap, 4 years, 27 mil. He takes it. But I think that's all we're gonna do for now. So once again, let's get to the end of the year, and I just hope, again, that we can. I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs, but just let's see if we're decent. But we finally made the playoffs, going 9-8. That took a long time. Louis Banks, very good year, 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, only 6 picks. Marquise Basket, 900 yards, close to 1,000, 3.5 per carry. Not great, but what could we really expect? 1,200 yards for Dodson, 12 touchdowns. Dixon was good as a rookie. Pretty good year for Crosby. Oh, Brian Anderson at left tackle was horrible, but the rest of the line was really good, so I guess that balances out. Reggie Moody, 128 tackles, TFL 16 for Doolittle and Wilson, 15 for Donaldson, and sacks. 10 for Donaldson, 9 for Wilson, 8.5 for Doolittle. Really good group. Unfortunately, I set defensive end as our focus position for the draft because I didn't think this would be a good group, but of course it was. I mean, I'm glad it was, but wish I didn't set that as my focus position. And Reggie Moody, 5 interceptions, led the team. Great year from him. Could be up there for defensive player of the year, but 2 picks for Shepard, Thomas, and Sanborn, and then 1 for Nixon Grant. Okay, this is a really good year. We finished 9-8, made the playoffs. That's cool. We really overperformed. I'm worried we aren't going to be able to repeat this next year. I feel like everything was almost as good as it possibly could be, but we'll see. But Patrick Mahomes wins MVP, shocker. Michael Penix up there, but Louis Banks at number 6. Banks at 7 for Offensive Player of the Year. Dodson at 9. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Josh Allen. Reggie Moody at 9. Rudy Dixon wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's cool. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to a Dolphins player, of course. John Pritchett at number 10. I didn't even see what he did. I mean, he had tackles, I guess. He wasn't particularly good. He had a decent amount of pass deflections, but no picks. Yeah, he was fine. But we have a first of many scenario here. I don't have much faith that we'll win this game. I didn't mean to go guarantee win, but I guess I'm guaranteeing this win. Definitely regret that, but I guess it probably doesn't matter either way. We have an upgrade for Sanborn. That's cool. I mean, if we do manage to win this game, maybe I should go guarantee win more often in games that I don't think we have a chance in, because if we do somehow win this game, I think that'll be a pretty big upgrade boost, or a XP boost. We'll see. So let's simulate it out. You never know. My guess is we won't win. Never mind. We win 42-31. Maybe we should just always go guarantee win for first of many. Why not? Do we get XP or is it only staff points? This makes me think it's just gonna be staff points. Really? That's so lame. Whatever. All right, I guess it doesn't matter then. But we have a hot opponent scenario here for the Jaguars. We'll go be confident. Y'all know me. I'm not gonna go with the insult opponent here, but maybe I should. But we have a few upgrades. Doolittle, Pritchett. We'll go slot for him, obviously. Nothing too crazy. The Jaguars always give me issues in this game. I don't think I have ever beaten them in the playoffs. I mean, I'm sure I have, but it feels like we always lose to them. So let's see what happens here. And we do beat them 35-20. We're smoking teams out here. Why? We're not that good. We're only an 85. Well, an 85 actually isn't that bad, but we haven't been the better overall team in any of these games. I don't think that tackle that we upgraded should be here. I think he was a practice squad guy, but that doesn't matter at this point. I'm just keeping practice squad guys because I don't care enough to cut them. They won't play any impact. But we have a recap for the hot opponent. I think we get XP for this one. At least I'm hoping we do. Yeah, 2,500 XP. That's cool. But now we are going to be losing because we are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. 90 overall, 12-5. We shouldn't win this game, and I don't think we will. And no. But imagine if we did. I mean, it's going to be a Chiefs Commanders Super Bowl. Commander-in-Chief. Isn't that a thing? Yeah. It also gets my mind going other places. But the Commanders are, like, maybe the most underrated team in this game. Like, they do super well for no reason. They go on to lose the Super Bowl, but they might be, like, the worst team in real life that does the best in this game. Either them or the Cowboys. But for the rest of our re-signings, it looks like Shepard got Superstar Dev. Ooh, I wonder if, what's our linebacker's name? I don't remember. I wonder if he got Superstar, but we'll pick up the 5th year for Shepard. We need Quincy back. We'll go very player-friendly again, and we'll up it to, like, 6 years, 90. Nice. He takes it. I accidentally skipped over that, but he took it. Blake, we don't really need. Ben Bone, we don't really need. Joseph Thomas, I'm good. Kyle Trask shouldn't be here. I think we just didn't have enough QBs on the roster, so the CPU signed him. Rob West has been all right. At least he's interested a little bit, and I don't want to have to refill the depth there, so we'll re-sign him, I guess. But let's get into, I think, the final draft of this rebuild. We met my goal of making it pretty deep in the playoffs, so let's see for this final year if we can make this team legitimately good. We need a good draft class. If it isn't good, then what can we even really do? But we will see. But we finally don't have the number 1 pick. We pick at number 16. And honestly, this kind of looks like a horrible draft class again. I don't know what it is with me trying to do draft challenges. Whenever we do, it's like just nobody good. So that's awesome. I mean, there are good corners actually, but that's like the position we need the least, maybe. I mean, we do maybe need a safety though. We can move one to safety. How good is David Turner in run defense? Ooh. In run defense, he is decent. B tackle. I wish it showed pursuit. I don't know why it doesn't for corner. I mean, I know that's not like the most important thing, but just if you want to move him to safety, I feel like it should show that. He looks pretty good. We might take him. I don't know what else to do. I mean, oh, Gary Elfman. I'm sure there's some joke to be made there, but he looks bad. He was one of the players I focus scouted. Dwayne Presley looks good later, though. It's a really bad defensive end class. Let's just go with the corner, David Turner. I mean, it's hard to find upgrades at this point just because we've filled out this roster pretty well, and we kind of just need free agents, but that's the challenge. No free agents, no trading, other than, you know, draft pick trading. Just no trading for players. But yeah, David Turner, hidden dev, 21 years old, 93 speed, cool. And then our original first round pick at 29. This might be the final pick I take here of this rebuild, because I don't know what else to do. Theo Hallman looks good at receiver, but let me see. Maybe there's a need I'm forgetting about. Is there like any little thing we could maybe upgrade here? I didn't see any crazy good linemen. Moody did get superstar. That's cool. I don't know. We're just in the rough spot of needing free agents, like I said. So we picked a potential safety. Our D-line, there aren't any upgrades we could get there. Maybe linebacker, but we're fine. Grant and Moody are the only two that play, really. O-line, that's like the last thing we could possibly upgrade. Honestly, none of the linemen even look that good. Doug Manley looks pretty good, but he's a day 3 player, so we'll probably take him like round 3 or something. Or I might even just take him round 2 and then simulate the rest of this out, because like there ain't much here. Or should we just take him here, because I don't see any other good guards. No, we'll do something here, but like, I don't know, man. Is there another good corner? I mean, we might as well take someone who's good if we're gonna take a player. Eric Phelps looks good. Johnny Parker looks good from what I can tell. I don't know, all these corners look good, honestly. Let's see, I like Eric Phelps. Elite acceleration, I think he's the lowest projection out of the top corners here, but A-man, A-press, B-zone, sounds good. Hidden dev, surprisingly, 91 speed, 95 excel, cool. And then last pick of the rebuild, let's go with Doug Manley out of Washington. Hidden dev, 91 strength, 86 acceleration. Not the best draft class, I don't think, but I did what I could. That'll be my defense. But ooh, maybe I should have stayed picking. The CPU made some questionable picks. I mean, not too bad, but David Turner, 79 overall. Eric Phelps, 78. Good players. Doug Manley isn't great, 74. I thought he would be better than that. Just yet again, only 2 80 pluses. What is happening? Damn, Rodney Williams would have been a good pick. I was half thinking about him. Oh, he doesn't have a dev trait though. But like, hey, I tried. I mean, David Turner was a 79. That was, I guess, tied for third best. Phelps was a 78. I did my best. Carlos Sherrills was actually good. I didn't think he was. I saw him, but I didn't think he was any good at all. He's a really good pass blocker, but we wouldn't have known that because there are no A pluses. I guess that isn't quite A plus pass blocking, but maybe close. I don't know. Decent draft. I did what I could. Let's get into the final year. But here's a look at the team heading into the final year. I feel like we did pretty well with building this team. 85 overall, definitely good. I definitely don't think this is the best roster we've had for a draft only 0 overall rebuild, but I want to get this video out before like 6 p.m. So gonna have to cut it here, and we did achieve my goal of making the conference championship at least. So we made it there. This challenge is definitely more fun when the draft classes are actually good. But this was still fun. Definitely hard, but still fun. But yeah, good team, really well-rounded team, and we do have a few studs like, oh yeah, Dodson got X Factor. That's cool. Banks has developed to an 89, 90 with morale. Like, this is a solid roster for sure. I'm like half tempted to just, you know, stop the challenge here and then sign free agents to just make this team ridiculous, but like that would defeat the purpose of the challenge. But let's get to the end of year number 6 and we will see how this team does. Now at an 85 overall. Surely we won't do worse than last year. All right, well, here we are at the end of year number 6, and well, if you couldn't tell from my tone, you'll see how we did in a second. But again, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like. I would very much appreciate it. Subscribe if you liked this. Normally, most of my rebuilds are more successful than this one. I mean, we made it pretty far in the playoffs, and ooh, Turner has X Factor. Okay, that was a good pick. The only X Factor we got. Wish we could have gotten a player like that in year 1, because they would probably be like a 99 overall by now, but oh well. We built a good team considering the challenge we were doing. We're an 88 overall. Let me check where that ranks in the league. Definitely not the best, but let's see. Okay, the Rams have an 89. Normally, I don't see them that good. The Packers have an 89. Giants have an 89. Same with the 49ers, Falcons. So we're like maybe mid to slightly above average in terms of overall, because there are a lot of 86, 87s. Everyone's like right around the same overall right now, though. It's kind of weird. Everyone's from like an 86 to an 89. I don't think I've ever seen this. That's weird. So we're actually like kind of above average if the range is 86 to 89, but unfortunately, we finished 8 and 9 in the final year. Last in the division too, but Louis Banks did really well. He's been a monster. You know what? As the last thing we'll do, we'll check the career totals for all these players. Marquise Baskett actually ended up being decent. 1,000 yards, 4 per carry. 3 1,000-yard receivers, Dixon, Dodson, and Crosby. Brian Anderson was bad. Brendan Howard was bad, and I benched Lucas Fry for Doug Manley. That definitely worked out. Reggie Moody had a lot of tackles again, lots of TFLs. Good amount of sacks, but not as many as last year. 9.5 for Dodson, 9 for Wilson, or Donaldson. And then, honestly, a pretty good amount of picks. I mean, considering how low those numbers usually are, wow, that was a sentence. How low those numbers usually are in Madden. But I highly doubt we're going to have anyone for any major awards. Maybe defensive, no, but no offensive rookies. Actually, Devon Anderson at 9, whoever that is. And then we get 2 and 3 for defensive rookie of the year, of course. We just had to finish it off with a cuckage. But let's check out our career totals. Louis Banks, if he didn't have that first bad year with a horrible team around him, he would be a lot better too, but 20,000 yards, 133 touchdowns, 51 picks. Good career. Baskett was whatever. Crosby, almost 5,000 yards in only 4 years. Only 22 touchdowns, but, or well, I guess this was 5 years because this was his 5th year. But 4,700 yards, 40 touchdowns for Dodson in 4 years. Quincy was good. Let's not talk about the blocking. Brandon Howard was awful. But almost 400 tackles from Reggie Moody in only 3 years. That's crazy. 62 TFLs for Doolittle. 27 sacks for Donaldson in 3 years. And then the picks were nothing special. So overall, I would say for how hard this was, we did pretty well. And we deserved to make the playoffs this year, I think. So that's a Madden moment. But this was a lot of fun. If you want me to do this again, let me know. I think I might try to find a way to make this easier. How about we get to sign one free agent throughout the rebuild? Just one. Just to make it so we do a little better. So we'll have to be strategic about what free agent we want to sign. So that'll be the plan for the next time I do this, because there will be a next time, because this is like my favorite video to do. But yeah, if you want to see another 0 overall rebuild, let me know by leaving a like. Let me know what idea you have for what I should do next. And with that, I will see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.